As a kid, it was always a treat when we opened up our lunchbox and found hammy, cheesy, pull-apart bread. I loved it, and I still love it. It's a bit nostalgic for me, so I want to make it from scratch for you today. So into my food processor with a dough hook, we're going to add this yeast mixture. So this is instant yeast, milk, and some sugar. I've also added a little bit of flour there just to activate it. So in it goes. To that, we're going to add our flour. Now, I'm going to add my flour to a bowl first, and this is where I like to add some spices and herbs. So classic mixed herb, I'm sure a lot of you have that already in your pantry, a little paprika, and some garlic powder. Again, all totally optional. Also some seasoning, so a pinch of salt, and just use your hands just to mix that up. It's best to do this before you add it to the mixer so it's distributed evenly. Okay, in that goes. And 1 egg. We'll just break that into the flour along with some softened butter. So I'll just grab a spoon and we'll scrape that in there. Please ensure that butter is quite soft, just so it really mixes together nicely. Okay, we're going to start kneading this until we get a gorgeous soft dough. Then I'm going to place it into a bowl, a little cling film over the top, and it just needs to rest in a nice warm space so it doubles in size. Dough has doubled in size, it's sticky, it's ready to go. And now for the hammy, cheesy filling. So I have some more herbs because I just love herbs in this, but again, you can change it to what you like. A combination of fresh rosemary, I've got some chives, parsley, and some garlic. I'll add some softened butter, and all we're making here is a bit of a paste-like consistency. So mix that butter and all those herbs together. And once it's combined, we'll just pop that to one side while we get onto the ham. Now, I like to use an English style ham for this, and you want it to be quite thin because you want little speckles of the ham throughout the whole loaf. So I'll just grab a knife and we'll open that up. And I want to add a good amount of ham to this, so about 6 to 8 slices. And we're just going to roll it up and then shred the ham. So we've got lots of fine slices of ham throughout this dish. So good. And then we're going to add our ham to our herb butter. And ham and cheese, they go together so well, so a good amount of cheese. I have a combination of cheddar cheese and some Gruyere cheese. You could just use one. You could even use some mozzarella for this recipe too. So one last mix. This right here is the ultimate flavour combination. Imagine all of that melting in this delicious flavoursome bread. So good. And we'll pop that to the side. Now on to our beautiful dough. It does look slightly strange with that orange tinge, but that's because of the smoked paprika that we added to it. So I've always got a little bit of extra flour on standby. And now we need to knock this back. So we're just going to take that out of the bowl onto a bench, and I'm going to cut this into 4 pieces, so straight down the centre, and then again, so they're all even. Working with 1 piece of soft dough at a time, we want to open that up, grab some of this delicious ham mixture, pop that in the centre and spread it out. Then we're going to wrap it up like a little pocket, fold it over, squish it together, and then form a ball. Once you've formed that ball, that's ready to go into our loaf tin. Now, if you like, you could cook this as is, absolutely delicious. So we're going to place that into a loaf tin, just like this. And I'll continue this process with the rest of the bread, and then you need to rest it again. Super important. Then this goes into a hot oven, 190 degrees for about 40 minutes, or until that bread is perfectly cooked and crispy on the top. And just before I place it into the oven, I'm just going to brush it with a little bit of milk. Well, this pull-apart loaf looks fantastic. It's golden on the top, super soft and fluffy on the inside, and that's how it should be. Now, do cool it in the loaf tin, and this baking paper has come in handy. It makes it so much easier to take out. Have a look at the base. It is completely cooked. So, it is a pull-apart loaf after all. So let's pull this apart and have a look at this delight. Oh, look at that, all of the herbs, all of that ham. See those big chunks of ham? That's what we're after. The garlic, the cheese, the ham. I will just place it into a little basket like this, pull the loaf apart, and then serve that. You don't need any butter whatsoever. There's butter in there. It's simply eaten as is. Ham, cheese, pull-apart loaf. You know, the one at the store tastes good, but when you make it yourself, nothing compares.